afternoon, Jim. My name is Officer Caitlin Mulcahy. I would just like to take some time to thank you for coming down to the station today to speak with me about a recent break-in that took place at a restaurant you're currently managing. I just have one simple rule before we start. As I treat everyone with respect, I expect the same consideration. I will remind you that you are not under arrest and you are free to leave at any time during our interview. If anything comes up during our conversations that you would like to speak with a lawyer about, please let me know. Do you have your own lawyer, Jim?
Well, I have a real estate lawyer, if that counts.
Yeah. Well, as you probably already know, we are investigating the recent break-in at your place of employment. After further investigation, the crime scene evidence suggests that the person who is responsible staged the burglary and had access to the combination of the safe where $5,600 was taken.
Ooh.
There is a connection between you and the theft, Jim, because you are one of 2 employees at the restaurant who has access to the safe. Can you please tell me where you were on the night of the break-in?
Well, I believe I worked during the day of the break-in when it took place, but I left the restaurant around 6 p.m. because the dinner trade wasn't coming in. It was really, really slow that night. So I left and then I met a few friends for a beer and got home around 9:30.
Would you be able to provide me with the names and phone numbers of these individuals you had dinner with?
Of course I can.
And can anyone verify that you did make it home by 9:30?
Yes, I can provide the contact information, and my girlfriend can verify that I was home at 9:30. I also made a call to the restaurant owner because I wanted to confirm that the early shipment the next day was going to happen.
Thank you for your cooperation. We will be following up with these individuals just so you are aware. Who was in charge of the restaurant the night of the break-in after you left?
Well, that would be Paul. He's the other manager, and he arrived around 3 p.m., I believe, of the day, and he was the closing manager that evening.
How well do you know Paul?
Well, not all that well. He was only with the company for a few months, and he's since retired. Not retired.
Retired or resigned?
Resigned.
Okay. Is there any
I think he'd
reason?
like to retire.
Is there any reason why we should believe Paul staged the break-in and stole the money?
Well, I would not have expected that from Paul. I mean, but he does hang around with a former restaurant, for an ex-employee.
At the restaurant you both worked at?
Yes, and this guy was previously convicted of auto theft. But
does Paul participate in any illegal activities that you're aware of?
No. The only thing is he's a recreational marijuana user, but that's very common in the restaurant trade.
Is there any specific reason that you can think of that he would have needed this money?
Well, I know he's been struggling financially a little bit lately, but I didn't pay much attention to the comments because he's always apparently winning big at casinos.
Does Paul have a gambling problem?
I'm not sure. We haven't known each other that long, and I don't know him that well. Although we do have a mutual friend within the restaurant industry, and I do remember this guy mentioning once that Paul's ex-girlfriend left him because he took all the money from their savings and gambled it away and lost it. But I haven't really thought much about that until now.
Do you have a close relationship with Paul? Do you consider him a friend?
Not really. I would say more a friendly co-worker. We only really saw each other when, we were switching our shifts, when we would do this crossover. If I worked the morning shift, then Paul would be working the evening shift, and vice versa. There was not much time to develop a relationship, especially now that he's He's resigned.
Resigned.
Yeah.
So you never spent time together outside of work?
No. Mostly because of our busy work schedules. We only get one day off a week, and seeing as there's only 2 managers, on this day off, the other person has to work a double. And then, we don't have time to really.
So if I were to ask your fellow co-workers, would they say that you guys are friends?
I believe they would agree and inform you that Paul and I are friendly, but we're polar opposites.
However, you did state earlier that you do have mutual friends.
Yes, but that's the industry. Everybody knows each other. When you work in the restaurant, everyone knows everyone else.
So there's no reason for me to believe that you and Paul staged this break-in together, worked together to steal the money?
No, wait. I've been working for this company for 5 years, and I've been developing plans to expand the business in another location by opening up another location, and doing this in collaboration with the company. If everything works out, I will be financially invested in the company within the next 6 months, and I am not going to steal money from the company that I own. I mean, that would be.
I'm sure the owners of the restaurant will support these claims. I will be following up with them.
You do that.
Well, Paul, you must understand where I'm coming from, as there's only 2 employees that had access to the safe, and as evidence shows, this was a staged burglary. So we must interview both suspects in order to determine who is at fault. If you were not involved, do you have any reason to believe that Paul staged the break-in and stole $5,600?
Well, I had absolutely nothing to do with this. I feel as though Paul could have staged the break-in and stolen the money.
Why do you believe Paul could have committed this crime?
Well, after speaking with you and remembering his, marijuana use and being friendly with this, the ex-employee who's convicted of stealing, and his gambling habits, perhaps he was pressured into stealing the money. I don't know, but.
Would you sign a written statement and testify to these claims in a court of law under oath?
Yes, of course I would.
Please write down on a piece of paper what you've just told me, Jim.
Okay.
Please sign and date it at the bottom. Thank you, Jim, for your time and cooperation. I will be in touch. Please take my business card in case there's anything else you would like to add. You're free to go. I'll escort you out.